Hey guys, it's Ashley. Welcome back to my channel. So in today's build, we are building in Brindleton Bay and we end up creating this beautiful 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom home, one of the bathrooms being a half bath. And I was thinking that this home would be perfect for a single father and his 3 daughters. One of the daughters I was thinking is a teenager and the other 2 are children. I go on walks in this one neighborhood near where we live, and every single house I pass, I'm like, oh, that's my dream home. Oh, wait, their neighbor's house is now my dream home. Oh, wait, this house is even more beautiful. This house is now my new dream home. Like, it is the most beautiful and unique neighborhood, like, not that I've ever seen, but it's up there for sure. Like, I live in California, for those of you that don't know, and I feel like in California, there's lots of new and more modern builds, but there are these older towns with these gem of homes. Like, I love just like an older build. I'm a sucker for old bungalow style homes, craftsman homes, and I think this definitely passes for one. I wouldn't necessarily say this is a quote unquote craftsman home, I suppose, but it definitely passes for bungalow. I love this nice little semi-enclosed porch that we have going on here, this beautiful balcony up on top of the roof, and I don't know, it is just gorgeous. So I saw this home in real life and I have no idea what the inside looks like, but the outside of the home I saw when I was going on a walk with my son, and I was like, ooh, I need to snap a photo of this. Like, this house is just gorgeous. So I recreated it in The Sims 4 and I'm so happy with the way it turned out. I don't know if you guys noticed, but we end up using these really large windows in the front of the home. I want to say that those windows are from the Cats and Dogs game pack, or is Cats and Dogs an expansion pack? Hold on. I feel like it is because we have a world. I feel like I don't often say game pack, stuff pack, expansion pack. It's from Cats and Dogs, I'm pretty sure is where those windows are from. I don't know if I've ever used those really large windows just because they're so huge, but the home in real life that I saw and referenced this build off of has very large windows, almost exactly like this. And I'm sure that the people that live in this home love just eating their breakfast or sitting in their living room and having these large windows where they can just see outside. They can see their neighbors walking their dogs, walking with their kids, you know, just like enjoying outside and the beautiful weather. So I think it would be really nice to live in a home like this. So if I don't say so myself, my Sims are rather lucky to be living here. And as you can see, we have this nice detached garage here. I'm not sure if the home that I saw in real life actually has a detached garage, but I noticed that this entire neighborhood where I go on walks typically have a lot of detached garages, or they almost have like a completely separate home behind their house. And I think it's just because these homes are so old and they have a lot of history, and people have probably added on little extensions of the home and things like that. And my husband and I, when we were walking here over the weekend, we were both just saying like, oh my gosh, like I would love to buy one of these homes, even if it was like a really older, slightly outdated or like run down one. It would be so worth it to renovate, like DIY on our own. And I just think that they just are on these massive lots. Like they're not huge, obviously, but they're kind of bigger. Like, I feel like if you were to picture this lot, this is a 30 by 30 lot. I'm not sure if I mentioned that already, but I feel like this is about the size of a lot of the lots that we passed by in this little downtown area where we went on our walk. And there's just a lot of opportunity with a lot that size, I feel like. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people probably rent out their little back detached garage or studio, in-law unit, whatever you want to call it, to people so they can make a little extra cash. I mean, I totally wouldn't mind, especially if I didn't need that space for storage or a car or whatever. But I really admire these kinds of builds. I took quite a few photos of builds and homes in this actual neighborhood, and I'm sure that I will be building them and uploading videos on them very soon. So I'm just really excited, especially because the brand new expansion pack is coming out, Growing Together. I'm sure you guys know all about it. I don't think I'll be filling you in very much because I feel like in the Sims 4 community, it is very much the current talk and the focus on what people are really looking forward to and whatnot. So I'm pretty sure a lot of those builds that I have in my notes and I have photos of for reference are going to be family friendly builds, like super family friendly. I can't wait to get my hands on that pack, you guys. I'm just so excited. I wanted to talk a little bit about that pack though while we're just starting to furnish. And quickly, side note, I did the floor plan off camera. I believe both both downstairs and upstairs, I believe I did off camera completely, so we're not really missing out on much. But as you can see, we're starting in the kitchen as I always do. But I just wanted to talk a little bit about that pack. So first of all, I'm just really excited about the family dynamics that are coming into the game. And of course, I'm excited for infants. I have an infant myself. He is 6 months. He turned 6 months, like, was it last week or no? Almost 2 weeks ago now. Holy crap, you guys. Time goes by so fast. But anyway, it just feels like it's very relative to my life at the moment. So I feel like playing with infants will be a lot of fun. And as you guys probably know, I love a nice family build, so that really works out for me. And I do love playing The Sims as well. And when I play, I do genuinely play in basically all of my builds. Like, it's very rare where I download anybody else's build unless I'm not feeling very motivated and all I want to do is just play. But typically when I do that, I play in my own builds because it just gives me a really good chance to like deep dive into play testing and just seeing like the little things that may or may not bug me about my own builds. So I have a lot of fun with that, and I just think it's going to be so much fun. I feel like I'm going to be really torn when it comes to wanting to play versus wanting to build once the new expansion pack comes out. So I need to kind of try to balance my time there with that. And I actually live not too far from San Francisco, so I'm just really excited that the entire world of San Sequoia is kind of loosely based around, well, not loosely, I mean, I guess sort of loosely based around the Bay Area and San Francisco, but I'm just so excited because I'm just very familiar with that area, and I personally love a lot of the homes that are in the Bay Area and San Francisco. I feel like this home particularly, you could totally find in the Bay Area. Maybe not in San Francisco because this is a rather large lot and I feel like that's rather hard to come by in San Francisco, like in the actual city portion. But some of the outskirt, like suburbs of San Francisco, you could possibly find something like this. I'm just super excited. You guys, if you are a builder or you are just like really into playing The Sims, comment down below what you're most looking forward to. And if you're even looking forward to this pack, I feel like this is, you know, the generation style pack that has been long awaited for The Sims 4 for a lot of people. And I'm just glad that the Sims team is, you know, has heard us and is granting our wish of wanting a generation style pack. I'm so stoked. And then I feel like there were a few things I wanted to touch on about it, but of course, did I write it down? No, I did not. But if it comes to me, I'll throw it in somewhere in the build because this is a slightly lengthier build. But as you guys probably noticed, we changed over the color of the cabinetry a little bit ago. And I was playtesting here and taking screenshots. I got past the screenshots and everything. And while I was editing this video and adding in the screenshots at the end of the video, I realized that I didn't change the color of the cabinets where the little half wall is, where like the dishwasher and the sink is. So those are currently blue. And if we end up popping into the kitchen later, you may notice. I will change that before I feel like I already saved this build and I feel like my Sims already changed stuff. So I ended up free placing some toys on the ground and whatnot. And I'm pretty sure my Sims already put those away. So I guess that's not the biggest deal. But anyway, I may or may not change the color. I definitely should because the blue going with like the orangey wood tone that we ended up going for on the cabinets don't really go. I wanted to change over the color to this more orangey brown or orangey wood tone rather, to match the doors. And as you can see, we now have a fireplace that ties in that color a little bit more to this home. So I really should go back in and change that before I upload it to the gallery and upload my screenshots and everything. So okay, fine, I'll make sure I do that. But as you can see, we have now put together, for the most part, the living room. I'm just adding in a few extra chairs here for, I'm thinking, your child Sims. I feel like it'd be fun to have a bean bag. I mean, at any age, it'd be fun to have a bean bag, let's be real. But the bean bag, and definitely that little teddy bear chair I picture the kids and the family sitting in. Maybe they do their homework there, or they all like to watch a movie together. And then I end up adding in the giant Blarfy and the little decorative toy box. I believe it's the one from Parenthood. It's either from Parenthood or the kids' room stuff pack. I can't totally remember. But I did mention, and you guys probably noticed from the outside of the build, this is a 2-story build. Do we see stairs anywhere? No, we don't. And I don't know what the heck I was thinking. This is a big flaw of not putting together the entire floor plan before going ahead and starting to furnish and decorate and all that. But don't worry, we end up finding the perfect place for the stairs. They actually go right against the wall where this little half bath is downstairs. And honestly, it works out very nicely because I think too realistically about my builds. And if I had to place the stairs in a really awkward spot, we probably wouldn't be here doing this voiceover, because I feel like I would probably end up putting this build on hold, even though it'd be a slightly small fix. Like, we haven't even touched the upstairs yet. Like, it's not the end of the world, but I get way too in my head and get just hyper focused on things that don't really matter. So thankfully, the stair placement ends up working out perfectly for downstairs and upstairs purposes. But I think we're pretty much almost done decorating and kind of cluttering up downstairs. I wanted it to seem very lived in, very much like this family is at home a lot. The girls really like to play with their toys. And I wouldn't say that this home is messy. Like I said, it's definitely cluttered. It could potentially use a little bit of a cleanup, a little bit of a tidy, but overall, it's really not something that makes me think like, oh, these Sims are messy and unorganized by any means. I just think it's kind of the perfect touch of clutter, especially when you have 3 kids and a single parent. And like I mentioned, I was thinking that one of the daughters is a teen, so of course she can help clean up, and so can the child Sims, but realistically, I feel like it would fall more on the dad and the teen daughter maybe, but we're gonna just go ahead and say that this family is very team oriented. They all like to help each other out, because after all, they're all that they have. I'm not entirely sure what happened to the other parent in the picture. I'm thinking maybe something slightly tragic happened. Like, I'm thinking maybe the mom passed away for whatever reason, whether she was sick or it was just a sudden accident, like a tragic kind of accident. And I end up placing a painting from Strangerville downstairs above the fireplace because it's currently bare. And when I was playtesting and taking screenshots, I was like, okay, we need something up there. I don't want to just place like a clock or anything. I want to place something that's more of like a focal point. So if we already had the Growing Together expansion pack, I would have loved to place a family photo, but we end up placing a photo from Strangerville. I think it's the one with like the car. It's like an older car. And they're all those swatches are very like retro, as like Strangerville is very retro in my opinion. But I was thinking that maybe this family used to live in Strangerville, and maybe when the mom went missing, maybe we could say she went missing because something weird happened in Strangerville. As we know, Strangerville is very strange, hence the name of it. But yeah, maybe something tragic along those lines happened while they lived in Strangerville, and they decided, okay, we need to get out of here, but we still do want to bring like a little bit of a memory from like, you know, living there with the mom and everything. So I guess that painting we could pretend is kind of like a nod to them used to live because they used to live in Strangerville is what I'm trying to say. How would you actually say that? But anyway, as you can see, we have now put together for the most part the upstairs bathroom, and we're a little bit limited on counter space. So I end up switching out this standalone sink for a counter, and I end up placing this little extra shelf counter kind of thing off to the side of it. And I just wanted to use that for cluttering purposes. We have the new oh my gosh, you guys, I keep wanting to call this the everyday clutter kit. This is the bathroom clutter kit. I haven't really gotten a chance to use it much in bathrooms, which is kind of silly because it's the bathroom clutter kit. I feel like I've used, like the little cup with the retainer cleaning in it, and I've used this little organizer kind of like drawer thing with, like, I would imagine like hair ties, scrunchies, brushes, things like that are in there, just like accessories, I guess. I've used those, and I've used them in Sims bedrooms, but not so much in the bathrooms. And since there's 4 Sims sharing this area, I figured it would only make sense to clutter it, and it would match the vibe of downstairs, with all the clutter and everything. So we end up cramming a washer and dryer in here. So if you do in fact have laundry day, you can have laundry here. And if you don't want to, then you just have more space to maybe place the toilet. So it's a little bit easier, or more accessible, I guess. But I did play test, and I did end up having to move and basically just swap the shower tub combo and the washer and dryer. I just had to move them, switch places. So that is one thing that you will see differently in the screenshots. And now we've moved on into the 2 child Sims bedroom. I was thinking that they have to share this room because there's only 3 bedrooms here, but there's 4 Sims living here. And I felt like it was only fair for the teen Sim to have her own bedroom. And these Sims, I was thinking, they also are just a little bit cluttered, and since they are sharing this space, they do have to kind of find room and make things work. And I'm thinking too that they don't have any issue sharing, so we just have a decent amount of clutter. Nothing too crazy, but I'd say this is typically a little bit more clutter than I would normally indulge in, but I was happy to do it. I do unfortunately end up having to get rid of this pillow on the ground. I don't know why I didn't think that it wouldn't mess up the functionality of the bed on the bottom bunk, but it does, so I deleted it altogether. I was considering moving it somewhere else, like maybe closer to this chair in the corner of the room, but I already felt like there was kind of not much space in here for your Sims to really do anything anyway, so I ended up just getting rid of it altogether. And as you can see, these Sims probably really enjoy the color pink and maybe a little bit of red as well, so we use lots of red and pink in here, which is pretty obvious because those are pretty much the only colors that we have going on in here altogether. And then I just recently got the bowling night stuff pack, I believe it is, or is it a game pack? I don't know. I got the bowling pack, okay? The bowling night pack. And I placed a bowling pin on the Sims dresser, which is very random. When I did it, I was like, yes, this is very random, but I haven't gotten a chance to use it. I don't know if I will ever use it. I mainly got that pack for just some like furniture, and there was a specific wallpaper that I really liked from that pack, so I wanted to get it, but I was like, this bowling pin, I don't know if I'll ever be able to really use this. But I was thinking maybe one of these Sims had their birthday party at a bowling alley, and the bowling alley gives you a bowling pin in remembrance for hosting your birthday party there. I don't really know. Other than that, there's no crazy backstory behind the bowling pin, and you guys may not even have been wondering or wanting to ask what's the deal with the bowling pin, but there's the explanation that nobody asked for. As you can see, we're just cluttering up this shelf. I try to remember to add in shelves to my walls a little bit more often, because I struggle with wall decor, and a shelf with some clutter is just a perfect way to customize a space, make it seem a little bit more personalized to your specific Sim, and it's just a nice way to not have to use like actual wall decor all the time, like paintings and stuff like that. So I was very happy to do it. And now we're hopping into the teen's bedroom. It's very, very orange and blue. I will warn you, it is very in your face. But one thing I wanted to touch on was when I was building here, my son woke up from his nap, and I was trying to finish up this room, so I had him on my lap, and he pressed something on my computer, and I realized it at the time, but then didn't do anything about it, and I ended up cutting out all of this footage. Not even cutting it out, it just did not record. So, as you can see, we are now into the father's bedroom, and the other bedroom is completely furnished and cluttered and done. We do hop in there later to add, I think, some clutter to the floor, but other than that, you will only see that room in the screenshots, unfortunately, and you didn't see this room come together, but honestly, it came together rather quickly. You didn't really miss much. I used all of the furniture except for the lamp, the standing lamp from the high school years expansion pack. This lamp is a debug lamp from Eco Lifestyle. And then we use this little rolled up yoga mat and kettlebell from the Everyday Clutter Kit. And then this is where we're hopping in back into the teens' bedroom. As you can see, it's all put together, and there's I think 3 screenshots at the very end of the build of that room, and just of all the rooms, but of that room, so you can see the layout of it a little bit better there. But now we are just kind of adding in a little bit of decor to this upstairs landing area when you first walk up the stairs, and it kind of leads you into all the Sims bedrooms. And then the dad has this lovely little private balcony. The roof does clip a little bit into the side walls, or like the half walls up here, but personally it doesn't really bug me, and it's not visible from like the outside of the build, so I didn't really care. I just kind of left it, and honestly you could change it. I think if you were to use a different roof trim you wouldn't have that issue, but I kind of liked the thicker wood trim for this specific build, so I kept it, but I just wanted to throw that out there if it wasn't obvious enough to you. And then I think after we are done decorating this little back porch area, we are just adding some things to the backyard. Again, I wanted this build to look very lived in and very much just like the kids that live in this home just love playing outside. They love playing with toys. I'm assuming they pretty much all get together. I mean, of course, or get together. They all get along. But of course, in any family dynamic, you are most likely going to butt heads from time to time. So this family is by no means perfect, but they do enjoy playing outside, playing together. They enjoy spending time with each other. I'm thinking that maybe twice a year this family goes on like a little ski or snowboarding trip to Mount Komorebi, and they rent a house there together. And it's just a nice way for them to all bond, just get away from their home life and just their everyday life, and just be able to enjoy a different environment and just kind of bond in a different space. I will say it is very nice. My family and I, we go to Tahoe every year, which is like up north. It's Lake Tahoe, beautiful, beautiful lake. And typically when we go, it's fall, and sometimes there's snow. And it's just really nice because where I live in California, we don't have snow. We don't live far from the snow necessarily, but there's no snow here. And if it snows here, it's a bit crazy, which actually it has recently snowed where I live, not specifically in the town that I live, but in the town that I work, it actually snowed, which is just kind of unheard of. It hasn't happened in a very long time. But anyway, we're just finishing up cluttering up this garage. It's just your typical garage with garage clutter and things like that. But we are going to be coming up into the screenshot. So if you guys have any comments or suggestions for future builds, please let me know. I want to talk to you guys in the comments. I know I have some new subscribers here, so it'd be nice to get to know you guys a little bit better. And I'm totally down to listen to your guys' suggestions and get some ideas on any future builds that I should do. But if you want to download this build off the gallery, you can find it under my EAID, which is ashleyyangelinaa, spelled with 2 Y's and 2 A's at the end of Angelina. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and hit that post notification bell so you don't miss a build. And I hope to see you in a future one. Bye. That's the sound of iced coffee right there. Sorry if you guys don't like ASMR. I don't even like ASMR, especially noises like eating and lip smacking, so I apologize.